Good morning, students. In the previous lectures, we had discussed about the phylum Mollusca, its characteristic features. Then we had discussed about the classification of Mollusca. Today's lecture will be focused on the economic importance of Mollusca. Myself, Balram Sain, Assistant Professor in Zoology, Government Dunga College, Bikaner. Economic importance of mollusca. Before this, we will just rebrush our knowledge about the mollusca. The phylum Mollusca includes the animals like the mussel, the oyster, the snail, the slug, the cuttlefish, the squid, the pearly nautilus, the chiton, and the tusk shell. The mollusks are the second largest group next to arthropods. The phylum Mollusca is represented by more than 1 lakh living species. The mollusks play a major role in the life of man. They are also of great economic value. On the basis of their importance to man, they are grouped into beneficial mollusks and destructive mollusks. First, we will discuss about the beneficial mollusks. These mollusks are very useful to man in the various ways. They promote the economy of human beings. Food. Most of the mollusks are utilized as food. The flesh of bivalves are of high nutritive value. The mollusks such as oysters, scallops, sea mussels and clams are used as food. The important species of mollusks that are consumed as food are Chrysostria, Madrassinensis and Perna indica. Perna indica, also known as brown mussel. Talsipods also serve as food materials for other animals such as starfish, fishes, and shore birds. The gastropods, particularly an apple snail, serve as delicious food. The squids, cuttlefish, and devilfish form the important food items of man. Bait. Among the mollusks, the gastropods and squids form the excellent bait for fishes. The octopods are also used as bait in the line to capture marine fishes by its peculiar odor to attract them. Buttons and pearls. The cells of gastropods and talsipods are used for manufacturing buttons. The buttons are cut off from the cells. The pearls are one of the costliest gems obtained from the pearl oyster. They are very beautiful and iridescent. It is the natural jewelry produced by the pearl oyster. Ornamentation. The gastropod cells and tusk cells are utilized for manufacturing fancy articles. They are used for the preparation of decorative materials and other fancy items. The most important gastropodon cells are obtained from the marine environments. The tusk cells are also used as a currency in some countries. Medicine. The cuttle bones are used as medicine and as food that supply calcium to the fat birds. Dyes and ink. The Tyrian purple is obtained from the juices of Nucella and Murex. The dye for the royal purple is provided by the Murex from the gland of this snail. The ink sac of cuttlefish contains brown pigment which is used as ink. Cradles. The cells of giant clam are used as cradles for babies. Now we will come to the destructive mollusks. These are another group of mollusks which cause much damage to other animals and wooden structures. They can be classified into following categories. First, herbivores. Herbivores are those mollusks such as terrestrial slugs and snails, which do much damage to the plants in the gardens, orchards, and greenhouses. They also attack decorative plants and vegetable crops. Second category is the carnivores. These are the mollusks that feed on other organisms. The predatory gastropods like Urosalpinx and Natica enter other mollusks such as oysters and clams and feed on the soft tissues. The other interesting carnivore mollusks are cephalopods. They eat the fishes and crustaceans like crabs. Destructive pelecypods. The pelecypod pterido, also commonly known as shipworm, causes extensive damage to ships. They make holes in the wooden structures. The sawdust is used as food. Parasites. These are the mollusks that are parasites on other organisms. Gastropod parasites are common among bivalves, polychaetes, and echinoderms. Another example is the stylifer. Stylifer is an endoparasite of echinoderm. Next is intermediate hosts. The freshwater snails like Limnia, Plenorobis act as the intermediate host for the flatworms such as Fasciola and Schistosoma. Another is oyster culture. Oyster is an edible bivalve mollusk. It solves the food problem of man. Oysters are easily cultivated because of their higher growth rate, sedentary habit, and easy harvesting. Now the question arises, what is the need for oyster culture? Flesh is highly nutritious and palatable of these oysters and contain high content of protein and also high content of minerals like calcium, phosphorus, manganese, iodine, etc. It is also rich in vitamins like vitamin A, riboflavin, thiamine, nicotinic acid, and the cells of these oysters are also used in road building as well as for manufacture of lime. These cells are also used as in poultry feed. Now, what are the desirable characters of oysters? First is oysters are easily cultivable. Growth is faster and yield is very high. Now, which species or the cultivable species of the oyster are Chrysostria madrascensis, Chrysostria discoides, Chrysostria gryphoides, Secostrius cucullata. Thanks a lot for paying the attention, and in the upcoming lectures we will discuss more about the phylum mollusks. Thanks a lot.